Hey everybody, Joe here with Fog It Up. I know it's been a little bit of a time since we last did a video, and I know we should do more videos, but gosh darn it, it just gets hectic. Not just for me, but for everybody. I know. It's crazy times, you know, and in these crazy times, sometimes it's good to hear a little message or a little story. And the story I have to give you guys today, well, starts in the year 1955.
5 hours later.
And that's why you don't carry 3 eggs in your right side pocket. Anyways, I hope that story had a deep meaning for you, as it did me. Anyways, before I go any more off track, let's get back on and mention to you that we're going to be going over the American DJ ADJ Entour Chill low-lying fog machine. It's a nice machine. It's a beaut. I'd say this is middle of the road. Don't mean that negatively. I'll show you guys, if you stay tuned, why I say this is a middle of the road fog machine, low-lying wise. Thanks. I'm with Fog
Fog Machine.
Hello once again. Thank you. Turning the fan all the way up.
Just want to talk about your feelings.
Listen, man, if you're going to put it on something, good warning, okay?
Fog it up.
Well, thanks for coming back. Now, we said we're going over the ADJ Entour Chill. And now you see that there's 2 machines here. And now a lot of you guys know that this machine over here to my left is the ADJ Mr. Cool 2. Now why do we have this machine out when we said we're going to be going over the new Entour Chill? Well, hold up there. There's a very good reason. Reason being, we want to show you the difference between the 2 units. Why would you go with this unit as opposed to this unit? Because they're still making this unit. And this unit, I'd say it's probably about half the cost of what this unit is. So, why would you want to splurge extra to get this unit? Why not just save a few bucks and get this one? I'll tell you why. So now when you look at the Entour Chill, you look at it compared to this one and you think, wow, this just looks like maybe an upgraded version of it. They just went plastic as opposed to metal. Maybe that's not good. Not necessarily. So when you look at this ADJ Mr. Cool 2, and I keep saying the name, and I'm sorry about that, but we got to be specific. You see that this one has a really long bolt to shut it. This one, not so much. Okay, so when you look at them, this one is a wider, this one is a deeper inside. You guys can see that. They still both hold the same amount of ice, which is between 5 and 5.5 pounds on them, which is nice. And when you look in here, they're both insulated. This one's completely insulated on the inside. One thing I like. This one is only insulated on the 2 little sides right here. But other than that, it's plastic. This is all a fire-resistant plastic. Very hard plastic. It's all one unit. As opposed to, this is a thinner metal unit. Sometimes over the years, it's more apt to you bend it when you're moving it. This one, not sure yet because it's such a new fog machine, but we'll know. Next is, another big feature is you have this outside hosing, which is on the Mr. Cool 2. So when you open it, you put in your fog, you have the tube, shut it down, you're good to go. This guy, not so much. This guy, his tube is internal. So you fill him up, close it off. It does give it a more sleek. So we're gonna rotate these guys. Let me lock this before I break it. Now this is one of the things with the Mr. Cool that they always had to tell everybody. This guy, you got to rotate him all the way down. And he takes a little bit. So there we go. Because we had customers ask us, man, I can't open it, it's stuck. And I'm like, you didn't unloosen it, or loosen it, unloosen, I don't even know if that's a word. Loosen it enough. This guy, you see the difference, how long it takes? And he's done. A lot quicker. So they could see that that was kind of a question they were asked a lot on this, and they fixed it with this machine. Alright, next, this guy's plugged in, so he's giving me a little bit of a difficulty to rotate him. So with both these machines, you have your tubes that come out that go into bags. So these are the bags right here. This is the bag. So they go out into the bags. Both of them have it. Now, this is where this unit will start to blow this unit away. No pun intended. So, this unit back here is a lot more old school. And why I say that is it is just a plug-in with a single remote. Anyways, so the remote on this is more of one of the more traditional, and I know it says Chevet, it's American DJ, don't have to tell me, but it's more of the old school timer style remotes, which is a remote you get with the new Entour Chill. However, what makes the Entour Chill nice, which in my opinion, I don't know why they even brought out this remote. I guess if you want to stand away and hit the on button if you're doing filming, that's what this remote could be good for. And I say that because this guy has an LCD screen in the back. So on this LCD screen, you can control everything with this unit, as far as the timing goes, the interval, the duration, as well as if you just want him on. This guy is a remote alone. Now another nice feature that you see that's not on this unit, that you see on this unit, is he is Dmxable. This means this unit can be put on some kind of board or DMX software like the My Buddy or the Amigo, which is really cool if you're doing some kind of show and you want to be able to blast on some fog and then shut it off. This guy, you'll have to have somebody off-site hitting the remote or just leaving it on. Another thing that separates this remote, or this fog machine, I'm sorry, is that it is now a PowerCon connector, which is nice, which you won't be kicking out. It's in there sturdy, as opposed to the normal, I believe it's called IEC cord that goes in here that, you know, we've all been there where we trip and kick it and it pops it out. This one, that doesn't happen. Now we get to the innards of both these machines. This machine used to be, I believe there was a 400 watt fog machine on the original Mr. Cool. Then the Mr. Cool 2 came out and they beefed it up to 700 watts, which in my opinion really made a difference. Wasn't a big fan of the original Mr. Cool. Just didn't think it was powerful enough to do anything. Like I said, just wasn't a big fan of it. Then they came out with the Mr. Cool 2, and the 700 watt fog machine, 700 watt heater really pushed this into a new bracket for me. This machine over here is 800 watts. So it's 100 watts more than this. Now, you might be thinking that's not a whole lot of wattage difference in fog machine terms. However, you're wrong. It's a lot. So what's nice about this machine is a continuous machine. Now, ADJ says it will run for 60 minutes long. The reason it only runs for 60 minutes is because that's about the time it takes to run through the fluid in the back of the unit. So, really, like I said, this is in fact a continuous running fog machine, which is really cool. Puts out a lot of fog over a time. This unit is still more of a traditional old school style fog machine that has to go through heat cycles. So even though he heats up, and I believe this guy takes about 6 to 7 minutes to heat up, he'll then run for about 15 seconds, cool down for about 20 seconds, and then, you know, go through the cycles. This guy takes 3 minutes to heat up. Once the 3 minutes are there, this guy's just ready to party all night long. Another thing is, as far as the ice goes, now with a lot of, whoops, goodbye bag. So a lot of these things, because it's only 5.5 pounds of ice, you will be going through ice, I'd say about every 25 minutes, you have to replace it. But it's only 5.5 pounds of ice. Just not a lot of ice. So it's not going to be very expensive. Now we get asked a lot, can we use dry ice instead of regular ice? Manufacturer says no, just use regular ice. I go with regular ice myself, and there's a whole bevy of reasons why I prefer regular ice as opposed to dry ice. We will list them right here. The reasons why we use regular ice as opposed to dry ice. Now, those include dry ice is more expensive than regular ice. Dry ice puts off a CO2. Now, it's not going to be enough CO2 to really hurt somebody, but we always like to play on the safe side. Third, dry ice has a fancy term, which we'll put here, which when it touches the aluminum inside these units, it causes a vibration, which it almost sounds like a little squealing noise, like a ee, and it's very annoying. That's another reason why we don't like dry ice. And finally, a really important thing that we've noticed with the regular ice is, because the regular ice is coming in cubed form, instead of ice or dry ice, you sit there and you can kind of crumble it up. Ice comes in such a almost patterned cube size that the fog's able to go up through it better, in my opinion, than just regular dry ice. As well as because ice is starting to melt, the water molecules from the ice mix with the fog itself, kind of like the atomized low-lying fog machines mixing with the fog to keep it down. And what I've noticed is it just keeps it setting lower. Another tip with low-lying fog machines is, this is for, of course, only outside if you're doing Halloween on like your grass where nobody's walking. When the fog, low-lying fog goes over it, you wet your grass down before the fog goes over it. So when the fog goes over it, it attracts to the water and it really sticks down. Really nice effect. You don't want to do that on dance floors, otherwise it will turn into a slip and slide. Anyways, that is why we pick ice cubes over the dry ice. Now we will be going over some testing of this machine. This machine, we say goodbye to you. We've already done a video on you a while ago, so if you want to take a look at our Mr. Cool video, you can, I don't know, maybe click here, or we'll leave a link in the description below. Otherwise, we will be going over this bad boy and some cool things you can do with it. Okay, so next we are going to be setting this guy up to put some ice in him. I believe we have Dragon's Breath in him. That's not what's in here now. We have some ice cubes in this bad boy. Anyways, okay, so before we get started, we want to make sure that we have the valve down here turned against it, because once we have it going with the tube, that means it's open and we want to shut it off, okay? So at the beginning, you want to keep it shut off. Next, we want to put the bag on. You put the bag on. Now, an important thing with this bag is you need to always put him, right now, this might not work because the weight can pull him off of this like that. So you always need to make sure that when you're going to empty this guy out, that it's kind of like when you start siphoning stuff, the bag needs to be lower than the source of where the water's coming from. Okay, so when you start draining this, make sure you hold it and you have it lower. Next, we're going to be using the remote for this. Because like I said, it does have a digital screen that you can do everything on board. Change the DMX value, change the remote, change the light, because this does have a green light that's nice on it. You can shut that off. You can disable the remote, this remote from here. But like I said, we're going to just be using this remote, which this remote has a timer. It's on, has a continuous, and it has a single manual button. And then when you do the timer, you have the duration and the intervals. How long between bursts do you want it, and how long do you want those bursts to be? Now, with this being a continuous machine, those bursts can be even longer, which are nice. So before we decide to put the ice in, we're going to just hit the manual button with it open, with the unit open. So here it is. There it is. With the burst. You can hear the fan kick on and everything. Okay, so next we're going to shut this. Lock it up. Let's move this real quick. Hit the manual. Now that's it without any ice in it. Okay? So next, the whole reason you buy one of these machines is to see the low line effect, okay? Smell of fog.
Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply.
That's right. Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply. Because not everybody follows the rules, huh?
Makes you think Halloween is right around the corner. Whoops, kind of missed that. Okay, let's put some ice in here. Up. Okay. Nice. I don't like to usually overfill fill these things simply because sometimes you can end up tweaking the hinges. This one does look a lot better than the other ones, but, you know, you don't want to bow this out too much. So let's put it on. Let's clamp it. There we go. Easy as pie. Alright, so let's set this aside. And we're going to show you this right now before we get you some other cool views of this unit. So let's hit manual. Let's actually set it back a little. Set that there. We'll actually just hit continuous. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it come off of the... We'll have it coming off. Now yes, I dropped the bag, so it's not connected to a bag to drain into a bag. However, like I said, I have the valve closed off. Let's actually side. Let's do side. So when you add one of our water laser FX units, this one being the green laser, and mind you, this is only one unit that's setting on top of the fog machine itself. No bracket, nothing, I just set it right on top of the fog machine, and this is what it looks like. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, so our final thoughts and our conclusion of this unit. Really like this unit. Really nice unit. This, in my opinion, is filling the gap between, say, the Mr. Cool 2 and the Entour Ice. They're all the same style machines. They're all machines that use ice. All same style of fog chiller within them. Couple of the cons on this unit that I don't like. Number one, I wish you can control the fan speed on this unit from the DMX. I really wish you could do that so you can up it or kick it back like some of the new low-lying atomized fog chillers or fog machines. You got so used to those and you come back to these and you're like, oh man, I just wish that I was able to control not only the fog output but the fan speed on this to help push the fog along further. It's not a deal breaker for me, but I just wish that was on this unit. The next thing that I wish this unit, I do wish this unit would have been a little bit larger. I wish, you know, going over this, I wish they would have put, say, maybe a 10-pound ice compartment on the front of this, maybe stretch it out a little bit, but I know with that comes the cost. I just wish there was a little bit more to differentiate it from the Mr. Cool 2 in that way. But like I said, that 2 isn't a deal breaker. Those are just my 2 gripes with this machine. But other than that, this machine is awesome because, like I mentioned, it fills the gap between the Mr. Cool 2 and the Entour Ice. Because the Entour Ice is $700+ between, I believe it's $750 to $850 for the Entour Ice. And the Mr. Cool 2 is, I think that unit now is $200. And this one is sitting around, could be wrong, but I think it's the $400 mark. So it fits right in between those. Other than that, it's a great machine. I think this machine will be great for home haunters or for photographers who want to just do shoots that don't want it to be too crazy. Another cool thing that people need to realize with these machines compared to, you know, there's always pros and cons with everything you deal with. Now, when you bring out, like, say, the Chevet Cumulus, which absolutely love that machine. Give that machine 2 thumbs up. One of my favorite low-line machines because of the output as well as the ability to adjust its output. I love that. However, when you have fog machines in the low-line category that are using atomized water, you're going to get a lot of condensation on the floor. If you're dealing with carpets or outside, then you're good. You don't need to worry about it. But if you're doing it on dance floors or it's going to be in floors that are slippery, or that's slippery when they get wet, that's a con. Now with these machines, you get hardly any kind of condensation from the ice coming out, because the ice doesn't come out of here unless you overfill it and you don't change the ice and let it drain. Then yeah, it will eventually come out the tip or out the front output of it. But as far as leaving the slick floors, you don't get that with these machines because you're just cooling down the fog. Another thing that these machines are very nice as far as the fog with the atomized is atomized low-lying fog machines don't necessarily keep the fog cold. It weighs the fog down. Now yes, it does kick back the temperature because of the water molecules mixing with the fog, but it doesn't keep it cold like it is when it comes out of a unit like this. When it comes out of a low-lying fog machine that uses ice, the fog is going to be cold and it's going to look thicker, which is really cool. So say you have like this machine, the Entour ice, the fog will look real thick because it is a fog machine going through going through ice, as opposed to some of the low-lying atomized machines. Those are more hazers going through mixtures with atomized water. Now, you step up to something like the DNG 250 from Entour, which is a refrigeration unit. Yeah, now that you're just refrigerating fog and it's going to absolutely look the best. But those machines are also well over $6,000, $7,000, and so a lot of people, that is out of their price point. So, sum it all up. Love the machine. Feel this machine was long overdue to hit that middle. That's why I said this is a middle of the road low-line machine. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's awesome. It fit that little part of the low-line fog machine market that was missing. Is now filled with the Entour Chill. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, sorry, I am sweating like crazy. It is hot here in California.
All right, everyone, chill.
Otherwise, if you guys like this video, please like the video, subscribe. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, you want any updated information on anything, you can always message us or leave it in the section below. We always love hearing from you. We're going to try our hardest to bring out another video really soon. I know you see this and then the next video comes out in a month or two, but we do apologize for that. Everything's pretty hectic. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy, and most importantly, you and all your loved ones stay safe. Take care now.